And we'll discuss in-class logic and validity a little bit more, but just for the video, just wanted to put this down. Next one is citations. Now, personally, I am not completely versed in MLA. A lot of your English teachers are and make you use MLA. Let me give you the bare minimum. Let me blow this up. Give you the bare minimum. There we go. Probably see that better now. The bare minimum. Okay. Let's say it's a website. Okay. Name of article. Date. Author. So sometimes the author could be, like if you go to like Susan G. Komen breast cancer website to look up something on breast cancer, the author will be the organization, so you just put down that organization name. So, you know, name of the article could be an article date. It may not be a person, it could be just an organization. That works as well. You want the date, especially if it's a website. Author, and then put the URL, the direct URL. So if it's a huge chunk, put it down. I mean, your real estate, what you're able to put down on this, it doesn't matter. You're not wasting paper here, so put the whole thing down. So that would be for a website. Let's say it's a book. Now this includes ebooks. So if you know, you go onto Google Books and look something up, and you guys have done this before, it's the title, it's the author, it's the publisher, date, and pages, page or page numbers. There you go. If it's, let's say it's like a Time magazine or a newspaper article, but an online newspaper article. All right, so newspaper, and really online doesn't really matter. You're just doing the same thing, but you're leaving off the URL. So newspaper article. You want title, author, publisher, author. You probably want like the, well, let's say publisher, edition. So sometimes it's like volume 80 article, or, you know, newspaper number 6 or something like that. So you have the edition, and then again the URL or page. Okay. Same thing with the book. I mean, the book has pages, but you probably, if it's an online book, you probably want URL and page to narrow it down, because, okay, online books have a place where you can get them, and they also have maybe 300 pages to them. So, you know, these are just different ways you can do it. So this goes down. This is your the bare minimum for your bibliography. And I'm not going to be too big of a stickler on MLA. That's not really what I'm after. I'm after you getting good at research. Doing the MLA citation really isn't going to make or break your grade terribly if you transpose page with URL or something like that. I'm not going to really stick it to you on that. So continuing, how do you quote something? All right. What do you quote? Well, you quote things that you simply cannot know without having a knowledge of history. If you don't need to quote that the Civil War happened in the United States. You don't even need to quote that the Civil War happened between North and South. You basically, what do you quote? You quote opinions. And all an opinion is a set of reasonings that were reached by examining facts. So opinions are not facts. They are not facts at all, okay? But it's a conclusion that someone reached. So an opinion, a set of reasons, you can also call this a conclusion, because people conclude things right in the middle of what they're talking about. So a conclusion will look like it as well. You want to quote that stuff. Well, how do you quote? All right, well, open quote, la 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 la, close quote, author, and year. Oh, that reminds me. I did mess up. Website, name of article. Okay, date. Okay, newspaper, same thing, put the date in there. Whoopsie daisies. Author and year, okay? Now, being that this is a website, you can also do it another way and just put it like that, or brackets actually. Like on Wikipedia. And then select it and change the color. Now, one thing I like to do is if I throw down a quote, I want to be able to track my quotes. So I change the color of them to begin with, the entire thing. That way I know, oh, here are my quotes, okay, they look good, blah, 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 blah. And then when it comes time to put the polish on everything, I only, leave that colored. Now, let's say you have it listed out. Let's say that, name of the article, this is your first one, boom, you're done. Let's say this is your second one, boom, you're done. Just like that. And it's a list that goes below everything, just like a bibliography would. So you quote, author, year. Now, well, it could be author, year, or you could just take that out and just put the number 1. Now remember, you end the sentence right here. So you have your quote. You don't want quotes to be too long. I would say that any quote that's over 2 lines isn't a quote. You're basically using somebody else's words to write your paper for you. Don't do that. You should also not have block quotes. That's not what you're here to do. You're here to communicate your understanding, not restate everyone else's understanding. Another thing you do is, let's say you quote number 1 right there, and you want to quote it again. You just put a number 1 after it again. Same source. Now, if it's a different part of the article, it wouldn't be a number 1, it would be like a number 2 or something like that. So let's say it's like deeper into the article but a different page. Basically if it's a different page, you put a different number on it. Because basically it just means that the person is able to track back where you're looking. And it technically would be 2 different sources because they're 2 different pages. There's different ways you can quote. Let's say you're completing a sentence. So the quick fox, and then basically jumped over the lazy dog. Lazy dog. Quote like that, which would be like a 1. Close the sentence. Or you do, let's see, you can quote the, capital, the quick fox. Now sometimes, okay, so let's say it's a quote, but let's say it's in the middle. So let's say what you're quoting is in the middle. So in the article that you're quoting, it's a lowercase t. So what you would do is you would actually, you would make it uppercase and parenthesis. Or you would just make it uppercase. That looks better. That is refreshingly better. Yeah, you just make it uppercase. Quick fox. Sometimes what you do too is, okay, let's say it's not jumped. Let's say it's jumping. It's the quick fox, and you're quoting. So let's redo this one. So let's go back to this one. Let's say in the reading it's jumping, or it says jump. You put this in parentheses because you're making it past tense. So if you need to change the tense within the sentence, you just parentheses change the tense. You're not changing the quote, you're just making it read better. So you put that in parentheses to make it read better. And that's basically it for quoting. Like I said, I've told you before, I'll be able to see your pages and I can make suggestions. But I'm not really going to hammer you. I'm going to hammer you on the plagiarism. Okay, I'm going to hammer you on all of that stuff. But I'm not going to really hammer you on, oh look, the period's in the wrong spot, or something like that. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to make sure that you do the mechanics of this well. One last thing. Instead of like block quotes or something like that, let's say you take a bunch of information from a source, so it's a paraphrase. So it's just a bunch of information. Oh my gosh. And it contains some of your information. Wow, okay. But if the majority of it is someone else's, you source them. Okay? If there's really nothing you can quote, but you write an article and you're just basically restating in your own words everything you got from that other article, like I said, you don't quote facts, but if you're restating everything from another article, its opinion, you still source it out. Okay? And you don't want a lot of these. Then it's not your paper, it's somebody else's. You've basically woven together the internet. That's not yours, that's the internet's. Well anyways, there's going to be more to come. We're going to go over analysis. So basically again, your literature review is a tremendous amount of reading. Make sure your sources are okay. And we'll go over like in class, like how to extract information and stuff. I'm not going to go over that in video. And then just make sure you cite correctly, not in the sense of putting the period in the right spot or something like that, but just make sure that you give credit where credit is due. Alrighty.